Hey, just a quick warning before this episode. We spoil a lot of stuff. Not just the shows we talk about, which are And You Thought There Was Never a Girl Online, My Hero Season 6, My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom Season 2, I'm the Villainess, So I'm Taming the Final Boss, Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out Season 2, Skeleton Knight in Another World, and More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. But we also spoil some Discworld novels and Gravity Falls. So, putting that warning up top here. Have a great episode.
Happy New Year, and welcome to episode 48 of Anime Territory. I'm your host this week, Benjamin Shabbing, and with me as always is my co-host, Jonny. That's not my knee, Ruhal. And we have special guests today, Dylan Rowie. Hello, how are you guys?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good.
That's not my knee. I'm sorry, that just reminds me.
It's a good one, isn't it?
We did family trivia today at our Christmas party, and one of them was like, what is grandma's favorite saying? And my grandma had a lot of like brain surgery and stuff, and we got a lot of years out of her that we didn't think we would with all that stuff. But she couldn't speak that great in the later years. But one of her most clear things that she would be able to say, she would say yes, no, and I don't know about that. Like that was the only full sentence she could like say. And it was, I don't know, just that's not my knee, just reminded me of, I don't know about that.
Like a catchphrase.
Yeah. This is a very special episode.
Yeah, special episode. So we're doing, okay, I got the title. The title of the episode is, Shabs was busy all week, so Jonny just sat around and watched anime.
I also went to work.
Doesn't count.
I worked over 40 hours, but whatever.
So Jonny over this weekend watched basically 7 animes.
Well, one of them we're going to talk about, I've been watching through the season, and there's no way we're going to do a full episode because there's no way that you want to watch it because it's a season 2 of something.
Yeah. So like 5.5 episodes or animes. Roughly.
Yeah. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 3.5.
Okay.
4, 5, 6. I would say 6, but there's 2 halves in there.
Okay.
Meaning one of these animes I watched half of like a while ago, and I decided to watch the other half this week. And get caught back up. And then one of them I had been watching week by week. And is still not finished yet. I'd also say it's weird. One of these I watched like 10 episodes of, and it's not finished yet either. But we'll talk about it. Because again, we're probably not going to do
So rather than me watching all these animes and doing separate episodes, we're just going to have Jonny talk about them.
Yeah, we might get a little loosey-goosey with the rules this year as far as the show goes. Just to like, I don't know.
Switch things up.
Keep things interesting to us. Mm-hmm. We're still going to have episodes where we pick a show and we talk about it. Mm-hmm. But it might be interspersed with episodes where we're doing stuff like this, where we're talking about, small bits of several episodes. And maybe we watched all those episodes together, or maybe I've watched some episodes and you haven't watched some, or what have you. Yeah. But yeah, no, I just
anime, you gotta.
I couldn't watch 30 Rock without you coming home, so I'm like, what do I watch? I guess I'll watch anime. That was fun. Let's pick another anime.
And then I got home, you're watching anime, so I'm just like, well, I guess I'm going to my room now.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna watch this.
Yeah, I didn't immediately turn it off and put on 30 Rock. So you watch like an episode, maybe 2, and then you're like, about that time, chaps?
Yep.
And then he went to bed.
This is episode 9 of the series.
Johnny's making no moves to stop the episode from playing on episode 9. You'll understand it. It's basic bullshit. It's all good shit. And by good shit, I mean it is shit, but I like it.
I wrote the thought wrong. Go ahead.
Okay.
So, so we're going to talk roughly about 7 anime. We're going to do dealer's choice. So Johnny's going to start.
Yeah, you guys are just here to respond.
Yes.
Dylan, I will say that you have watched, you said 3 of these shows?
I've watched the first episode of 4 of these shows.
First episode of 4 of these shows.
And gave my initial thoughts.
Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and each give a guess as to what those are. You will not reveal them until we start talking about that show.
Okay.
I'll pick the show. Ben will say what he thinks the show is based off of what little he's seen, just offhand. And then Dylan will talk about if it's one of his. There's also one show that maybe you can put into words best.
There was one show that I watched the first episode of, and my only comment on this show was, this show is great. 25 out of 10 might be the greatest thing ever.
Okay.
It was very good.
So we're going to try to guess what that is as well. And then you'll reveal it when we reveal the show. So Ben, what do you think are the 4 animes that he watched, and which one do you think is the transcendent one for him?
I'm going to go... The transcendent one is, and you thought there was never a girl online. I'm going to say that's the transcendent one. You watched the first episode of Skeleton Knight. Are we counting My Hero? Because I'm sure you watched the first episode of that. But I don't know. You said...
He said he was going to save that one.
Yeah,
I don't think
I'm
he
saving
did
My Hero.
So he did give us that. That one's taken out of contention.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with all the isekai ones. He did My Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, and he did I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss.
So you're doing Skeleton Knight, I'm the Villainess, My Next Life as a Villainess, and you thought There's Never a Girl Online, and that's what you think is transcendent.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to guess that he watched Skeleton Knight in Another World. I'm going to guess that he watched I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss. I'm going to guess that he watched And You Thought There Was Never a Girl Online. And this is going to be my last guess, and my transcendent guess will be More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers.
That's your transcendent one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we just mentioned a bunch, so I guess we'll go through the list of what we've got here. Mm-hmm. So you thought And There's Never a Girl Online. It was My Hero Season 6. Mm-hmm. My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom X, or Season 2 of that. I have watched Season 1 of it, but that was when it aired. I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss. Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out, Season 2. Skeleton Knight in Another World. And More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. Those are the shows that we're talking about.
Okay.
So, let's go with my guess for the transcendent one. More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. Ben, what do you think this show is about?
Okay, you gave me the basic plot while we were watching it. But basically it's a dude likes a girl, but he's kind of technically married to another girl. But not really, because it's part of some weird class they have at their high school. But they're at the beach. I guess it's summer break. I start with this one guy flirting with the girl that he likes and almost kissing, but then interrupted by 2 other girls. And then it goes to like the girl he's technically like married to being kind of jealous and showing off her lady parts in a bikini, and then they almost have sex or something. That's about it.
Okay, that's what you think this show is about. Dylan, can you reveal? Have you seen this anime?
I have. This is one of the ones I did watch the first episode of.
Is this the one that you said 25 out of 10?
My notes for this show is great, 25 out of 10.
Yes!
This is the greatest thing ever.
Yes!
Dang it!
I just spiked the mic there a bit. I'm so excited. I get the $50. Is $50 we were betting, right?
What? I was not told about this. Well, recapping the first episode, the intro was great. I love the intro to the show. It was fantastic.
Okay.
And
I don't know if I got to that part.
It was good. It was good.
I only got the ending.
And then, I don't know, just the whole concept of the first episode was just so intriguing. I'm like, I just want to binge this whole series right now, but I'm going to commit to only watching one episode, as many of these as I can before I come over.
So what is the concept?
I mean, you got it pretty well right. I mean, so far from all I've seen is they have to take a class on how to be a married couple in their school or whatever, and they're locked into their rooms or whatever.
They're not locked in.
Well, not locked in, yeah, but you got the little thumbprint thing.
Yeah, you can't go.
You didn't tell me there were thumbprints.
You can't go into another person's room. You got to have a thumbprint to get into your own room.
Yeah, so even though they are a married couple, they have separate rooms, and only you have to use your thumbprint to unlock it. Okay. So you could let somebody into your room, but they can't get into your room.
Correct.
Can they leave your room?
Yeah, I would assume so.
So.
Well, so here's the thing. Mm-hmm. There is an episode where the power is out, and they can't... Well, I think they couldn't get back into their rooms at that point. I don't think they were... I can't remember if they were in one of the rooms and they were locked in. I think they couldn't get into their own separate rooms, so they had to... sleep on the couch.
So is this like a dorm type of thing? There's like
yes.
two bedrooms in like a common area?
Yes.
Yeah. And they can't go into each other's like bedrooms?
Yes.
Okay. But like common room is fair game.
Common room is fair game, yep.
Okay. Can other people get into their common room? Or is that...
It's... If you have to be let in because it's just like a typical key. It's just...
I gotcha.
You just have like a key to get into your...
But like room. She couldn't go into his room without him letting her in.
Correct.
Yeah, unless the door was jimmied, like
I gotcha.
Left open or whatnot. But yeah.
Okay.
If the door is closed, it is locked with a thumbprint lock.
Okay.
To avoid, so that people have a safe space.
I gotcha.
Because this class is fucked up.
Yeah? Sounds fucked up.
They're like, don't get too overwhelmed with things, but then like when they start acting like a married couple in the terms of like, they're like, she's like sitting on his lap and it's like, this is getting awful sensual, if not all the way, and their points are going up, so it's like, what do they mean don't get carried away? Because they definitely seem like they wanted to get carried away, but you get rewarded for getting carried away.
Like, are you allowed like under the shirt type of stuff? Or is it,
I don't know. I haven't seen enough to see that yet, so I'm excited to find out.
Like, what base can you get to before you start losing points?
Oh, you lose.
They haven't lost points. There might be some groping
because like the first episode, they lost points because they started fighting as soon as they moved in together.
Yeah,
they lost like 3 points right off the bat.
Okay, so makes sense. They're high schoolers. They're not going to like each other.
Yeah. No, I would say that the key part of the premise that we're missing is you mentioned there is another girl that the main character likes.
Yes.
And then the main girl, there is another boy that she likes. Mm-hmm. And they are kind of, the two main characters are kind of opposites. One of them was like, I'm kind of shy and I like video games. And the other one is a gyaru or gal or a popular girl that wears revealing clothing and lots of makeup and stuff like that, which is a stereotype that she disproves. But they're very different people, and they had like an interaction where they're just like, "Get out of the way, you're gross" or whatever. And then the two people that they like are matched up as a couple as well.
Yeah,
and there is. If you're doing well enough in the class, the top 10 people, the top 10 couples can switch, at the end of the month. So like their goal is, okay, we gotta get our scores up, first of all, so that we pass this class.
So they allow wife swapping.
Yes.
And it's because, again, you're not supposed to necessarily like date the person you're married to, and it's so that you can get used to living with another person, and being, cohabitating. Yeah. And then being with various types of people means that you can get more experience for the real world. Yeah. Is their way of making it not wife swapping, but yes.
I feel like they would do that for like everyone
though. There's also a thing where like any points that you got when you wife swap, like those points are from before the wife swap, can't be touched. So like you have that as a base score, and then you could potentially get negative points, but
so if you had like 98 points with your first wife, then you swap, you start with 98.
You swap, those 98 are locked in, and now you have a new score with your new partner. Okay. Now that score can go negative. Okay. But like that score will get like added on or averaged or something. Okay. But there's like there's an incentive to swap, not just because you don't like your partner, but because, hey, those points will get locked in and you don't have to worry about losing your points. Because your points fluctuate if you fight.
So the points do matter.
Yes, the points do matter. But yeah, and then they just slowly, like, they still like the other people, but they start to see each other more as, oh, hey, this person's not as gross as I thought he was, or this person is not as, experienced as I thought they were, and are, they're seeing the good qualities because they're forced to spend so much time together. I don't know. It's the kind of shit that I love. It's just like, yes.
Yeah, it's a romance.
It's a romance. It's not full on a harem comedy. So it doesn't quite. Not that I don't really have anything against harem comedies, but this can get frustrating to a certain point because it's just like you got to split your time between the girls, or you pick a girl and then your favorite lost.
There's always 4 types of girls, and he always picks the one you don't want.
While we're on this topic, though, I call dibs on the main girl.
You can't call dibs when we're not watching the anime.
I got dibs.
It's not on that.
I called it by myself as I was watching the show.
You don't have a witness. You have to have a witness.
I'll allow it if I can have the short hair girl.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I want the main girl.
I'm being dinged up. Please tweet at us at anime_territory on Twitter that this is unfair. It's against the Dibstitution, which we still have not written down.
It's not written yet.
It's not written. Sometimes changes will be made.
Dang it, we need to have this document written. I'm tired of this bullshit. I've watched more of this show than either of you.
You shouldn't have invited him.
Okay, so I got my guess right, so that's at least a point for me. Okay. That I was able to guess Dylan well enough. I mean, do you guys have any other questions about this show? This one, there's only 10 episodes out so far. Mm-hmm. It's still airing, so I'm excited to see where it goes from here. No.
This one looked interesting to me. I'd watch this.
Yeah, this one was solid.
Probably won't, but I would.
You probably won't, but you.
I'm probably gonna go binge it when I go home.
It's a show I give like a 6 or a 7 to this show. At this point, it's solid, but it's not fucking like Cowboy Bebop. Like it's fun and entertain me for like a day and a half. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which one do you want to choose next?
Let's go. I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss.
Okay.
Ben, what do you think this show is about?
This one I watched, the first 3 episodes, I think?
Maybe? I don't know.
I think I missed, the first part of the episode 1, though. Because I think it's, this girl is, sucked into the game she plays. But I didn't get that part. But I think she realizes she's the villainess of this show. Or the whatever this is. So she, goes to the king of the demon world that's, across the street. And is hey, we should get married or whatever. And at first he's no, I'm a demon king. I don't care. But then she eventually wins him over. And he's, really hot. So it's just yeah, this is right. But also she, dated his brother who's, the second in line to be the king of this whatever world they're in. And then stuff happens. There's a side chick who gets kidnapped and they try to blame it on the Demon King, who is a dragon. And then that's about it.
Okay. Dylan, did you watch the first episode of this?
I did.
Okay.
Villainous Controls in Boss, so I did watch that. My notes for this show was, I don't know, just kind of boring. Intro also sucked really bad.
The outro is really good, though. There's a really snappy outro for this one. No, so, yeah, I wouldn't say sucked into the video game, but she was reincarnated after she died or whatever. Okay. And then at a very climactic, midpoint of the game's plot, where she is, the villainess of it's an Otome game, so it's a girl MC dating simulator sort of game. Okay. And she was reincarnated. She was reincarnated into the role of one of the love interests in the game's evil manipulative fiance.
Okay. So technically the main character of the story would be that one.
Yeah, chick. The main character of the game was that one girl. Yeah. Now, there's it's probably a mid-game moment or whatever through one of the romance routes where the villainess, their engagement gets dissolved. And that's when she regains her memories. So, everything plays up to, the game standards up to that point. And then she's wait a minute. This traumatic event triggered my past life memories. Mm-hmm. I have knowledge of this world because I played this game,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that the ending of this game is the Demon Lord goes crazy, and I just like happen to die in the crossfire. So instead, I'm gonna go endear myself. Like I'm gonna give up on the main on the main love interest of the game, and just kind of give him to the main character, and not get in their way, not be that bitchy person. I'm just gonna be my own strong, independent woman, and I'm gonna go try to save myself by endearing myself to the Demon King.
Yes,
and then it turns out that the main character is also somebody that was reincarnated into this world and is being very manipulative and wants to... Spoilers. It doesn't think of people in this game as real people. So, like, she's just like, yeah, I cleared all the romance routes and now that person's under my thumb and I'm going to do the same for all these other people and I'm going to make your life miserable because at some point she realizes that they both have... So she just, like, becomes the manipulative antagonist to them. There's another plot. That's, like, the first plot is them, like, her, like, stopping the Demon King from going berserk in that game. And then they're like, okay, resolved. And then they're like, well, now we've got to go through... The second arc is going through the sequel. And I'm going to go undercover as a boy at this other academy. And,
what?
And stop this other attack from happening.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, so that I don't get a bad ending there. Or something doesn't happen to, you know, my new fiance.
The Demon King?
Yeah, the Demon King. And then the third arc is like, hey, now we're going through a plot, not of a sequel, but of a fan game that was made.
Okay.
And things are different this time, which is because she's like, this is different than how the game plays out, but it's meddling from the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And her fiance loses her memory, and she's got to make him fall in love with her again.
It's like that one movie.
50 First Dates?
Yeah,
sure.
First Dates. It's got Adam Sandler in it.
Yeah. What movie were you thinking of?
I don't know. That's why I said it's like that one movie.
Memento? No, he's trying to find his dead wife in that. Can't.
The Notebook kind of has that? What else?
Yeah, The Notebook kind of has that.
Never seen The Notebook.
Yeah, I just know the plot.
Dylan, I'm assuming you've seen The Notebook because you're married.
Probably 15 times, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of Rachel's favorite movies, so.
That's fair. I have nothing against it. I just haven't seen it. Okay. But that's on the Villainess, so I'm taming the final. But the best part of that show is just like there's a sexy Demon King and a sexy bossy girl. It's checks off some boxes for me. I don't know about you guys, but
first episode just didn't get me hooked. It was really boring.
Gravity Falls. That's the show.
Spoilers for Gravity Falls, but not really.
You don't know what I mean.
Okay. So what is... Okay, I'm going to go with the next one that I think Dylan...
You want to rate it?
Oh, like 5.
Okay. You might as well rate it.
Yeah. I think I gave it a 5. It's on. I put it on my anime list, and I think I gave it a 5.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, Dylan, did you watch the first episode of Skeleton Knight in Another World?
I did.
Okay. Before we go on to your notes, Ben, what do you think Skeleton Knight in Another World is about?
I have no clue. I walked in on 2 buff dudes shooting rocks out of the earth on these dudes, and while some other people are trying to sneak into some, I guess, town?
Yeah.
Is that a town?
It was a slave market.
Okay, to a slave market. And then I walked away, and when I came back, there was a huge-ass Hydra. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. That's a pretty accurate summary of the show. Not really, but okay. Dylan, what are your notes on the first episode of this show?
Well, my opening line was Goblin Slayer meets skeletons. If you've seen Goblin Slayer, you know what I mean.
Is that because the show starts with an attempted rape?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
Not an actual rape, an attempted rape.
Okay.
It was
thanks for that clarification.
Actually, the show starts with a content warning.
It does. It starts with shows for mature audio, whatever it said. I don't remember. I'm like, what am
there
I
are
getting?
Some mature themes.
My first thought is, what am I getting into watching this first episode? Oh well, here we go.
Starts with an attempted rape that's foiled by our main character slicing some people in half.
Yep. Okay.
So it's like, all right.
So yep. So then
it's about as risque as it gets.
That was the first line, and then I'm like, well, then it kind of takes a Belcoon turn, doing some Firebolto action.
Okay, yeah.
Firebolto.
He does say Firebolt at some point, or fire or something, yeah.
And then I'm like, and now it's taking some SAO vibes. How does the skeleton chew without moving his mouth or anything? I was very confused.
Yeah, I've got things to say about that. So, we'll get into it. Yes. It starts with some violence and some sexual violence. The sexual violence, you don't get to see anything, but it's like, I can understand the content warning that they have.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, he's forcing her legs apart and saying like, oh, she peed her pants. It's like, what? This is gross.
It does show the yellow stain of the pee in the pants too.
But we don't see nipples or vag or
nothing.
Penises or anything like that. And a rape does not actually happen because it's foiled.
And they get cut in half.
Our main character, his last memory was falling asleep playing his online game. Okay. And when he woke up...
So the skeleton was a human.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if they would be like, this dude's a human and he gets sucked into this world and becomes a skeleton, or it's like some weird alternate universe where there's a skeleton transported to another world.
God, that would be way cooler.
That would be,
yeah.
You should write an anime. No, you should write Shabs and the Blind Man first, which will never happen.
I gotta write that.
Okay.
What should the movie be about? We got the 6 seasons.
Worry about that later, Ben.
Okay.
We gotta keep on track here. You gotta go to work in the morning, remember?
That's true.
Okay. So here's the deal. He was a human. He woke up and he was like, the last thing I remember is falling asleep playing this game, and now I am my character in this game which means I'm a skeleton with this giant ass armor set that's OP as hell, a sword and a shield that are OP as hell. And he's like, and my stats are pretty high level, and I also have access to this magic that my character did not have access to before. So I must have access to everything in this particular skill tree or something. I don't know. But anyway, he's a maxed out broken OP character.
Okay.
But he doesn't have any like actual like finesse or skills with a sword or anything like that. But he's got a shit ton of strength and
he's swinging a big sword.
Where you don't need a lot of skill for that.
Yeah.
But he does have like a spar with somebody who is leagues better than him. Mm-hmm. So like we do get to see he's not all powerful, but he is very powerful. But yeah, he stops a rape, and then he's just like takes off his helmet. And he's like, "Shit, that's right. I chose the skeleton avatar for my character. I might get chased out of town if I show my face, so I better keep a low profile with my giant ass knight armor,
giant ass sword."
So and he has to eat. He doesn't have any money, so like he steals some stuff from those bandits after he foils the bandit rape.
Mm-hmm. He buys his piece of chicken. Or
yeah, he buys a big thing of meat. He starts taking jobs. He gets an adventurer's license. So like, well, but surely you're a knight somewhere. It's like, it's personal. I don't want to talk about it. Just something came up. I need a mercenary license. And they're like, okay, you got to go kill 3 giant boars or monsters or bandits.
All right, well done. I got 2.
What?
You already killed 2, didn't he? Bandits.
No, he killed like 8 bandits.
He killed like 8 bandits.
Well, dude, done.
Well, he was already done before that.
Yeah, because before he'd kill those bandits, he killed like an orc and
2 giant
boars. Yeah.
So he was done, and he's like, I guess I better go help those people, even though I wanted to keep a low profile. He keeps doing things that are like, that's not keeping a low profile. Because he's also just like, I'm in a fantasy world. I should like
do stuff.
Take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Like when he runs into an elf, he's like, that's an elf! I'm gonna go be friends with that elf. And then, sure enough, he becomes friends with that elf.
Oh, does he? Sweet. Yep. The first episode, he's got a hots for that one elf, so I was all like...
He helps her rescue some kidnapped elves.
Okay.
It's a lot of him fighting the slave trade, if I'm being honest.
Interesting.
The elf is like, hey, you don't show any prejudice towards elves, unlike every other human I've ever met.
He's not a human.
Well, he is, though. He considers himself a human.
But he's a skeleton.
But she doesn't know that.
Okay.
Because he's just wearing his armor. And he hasn't said that he's not a human. So can we hire you to help us out? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then eventually he reveals to her, she's like, do you want to, he helps her out with a big job that's around here. And then she's like, there are other places that could use our help. Do you want to go and get officially employed by our people? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I can't show my face. And she's like, why? He's like, you might get hostile to me if I show you my face. You have to promise you won't get mad. And he's like, I'm a skeleton. And she's like, yeah, that would be a problem. I'm gonna need to talk this out with the elf elders. I trust you. Some sort of curse? He's like, yeah. Let's go with that. Let's go with curse. Like, we may be able to find something that'll undo your curse. He even has a remove curse spell, and he casts it on his hand once, and it turns back into a regular hand for 5 seconds.
Ooh, cool.
And it's like, oh, okay. But I guess it is a curse. I just kind of made that up. And I guess that's now my quest, is to undo my curse. But yeah, no, it's like, he's got to eat and drink, and where does that go?
Oh, good point.
But see, there's at one point he takes a bite, and he's chewing his food with his mouth closed. And he's chewing, and it's a skeleton. It's just...
Does it go, through his vertebrae? We get a scene of him taking a bath at some point. And
is it just bones?
Well, so here's the thing. And this might just be an animation thing. Mm-hmm. But his, chest cavity, it's not see-through. It's just, black. So you can see, his bones and stuff. But, the inside of his mouth and the inside of his eye sockets is just black, when really those would be see-through. Mm-hmm. And, in between his ribs is just black, even though that would be see-through. So it's does this guy shit? Is the food just, because he's cursed and really he just looks like he's a skeleton? Is that what's going on here?
Good point.
Is he actually have a human body and we just don't see it? Or just he has an invisibility spell cast on him that makes it show nothing but his bones, and then some. And I'm like, I was looking at that, the chest cavity just being black. I'm like, well, that's because it's a CGI model, and they don't want to have to render the stuff behind it. But I'm also just like, give me skeleton. I like skeleton. This is bullshit. But yeah, he meets up with an animal person ninja, and and then her friend is another animal person ninja. That's the other big strong guy, and they're like, okay, well, there's also animal people being in the slave trade, so he helps out with that too. It's just a lot of him
just helping people.
Yeah, disrupting the slave trade. There's a dude that is making monsters for this evil empire, or taming monsters with magic. And that's the guy who has the giant hydra that he's got to fight. He summons a giant fucking demon to fight it.
Okay.
But that's
it.
They go fantasy, fighting monsters and freeing elves and beast people.
Cool. Stealing
gold from the lord that had the elf slaves.
Cool.
To the point where he's like, the elf people are like, we'd pay you, but we know that you robbed that dude of his shit ton of gold. So you have more money than us. And he's like, yeah, but you can give me information on that spring that might undo the curse, and I'm just having fun hanging out with my elf friend. So that's Skeleton Knight in Another World. It's whatever. I don't know. If they had a season 2, I might watch it.
Rate it?
5.
Okay.
Maybe 6.
So that was a 5. That was a 7. That's a 5.
I guess we're not quite at the season 2s yet. I can hold off on the season 2s for now. Okay, Dylan. So far, I'm 3 for 3.
Correct.
You've got one more. Did you watch and you thought there was never a girl online?
That is correct.
Yes. Okay, so you avoided the season 2s.
I avoided all the season 2s and I avoided My Hero.
Yeah. So,
makes sense.
Ben, what do you think of and you thought there was never a girl online?
Well, I watched, the last episode?
Yeah.
And it was, dude is in like a video game club and it's all girls. He's technically married to one in the game, but then they just do some weird like siege event that's happening in this game where they have to like defend a castle from dudes and stuff happens and they win.
Yeah, that's what you saw. Okay.
They're like the Alley Cats.
Yeah, that's the name of their guild. Dylan, what do you think this show is about after watching the first episode? What are your notes?
My notes were, one episode wasn't enough to judge, but I feel like it's going to be at least decent. I'll probably end up watching this.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say it's decent. I'll go ahead and give the rating now. It's about a 6. So like the premise is this guild is 3 dudes and 1 girl.
Okay.
Character wise. Mm-hmm. And the main character was like, I've been burned before. I asked this one female character to marry me in the game and be my girlfriend. And she said that she was an older man in real life and did not want to do that. So now I've just learned that games is games and real life is real life. If the character is a cute girl in the game, they can be my wife in the game, and I don't really care if they're a boy or a girl in real life because this is the game. Mm-hmm. And then his wife in that game, the one girl in their guild, is like, well, but I am a girl in real life. And he's like, yeah, sure you are. Yeah. And then one of the guys in the guild is like, yeah, I'm also a high school girl in real life. And he's like, yeah, sure you are. And then the other one is just like, or one of the, I think I think it was the same guy who said I'm also a girl in real life is like, well, let's settle this. Let's have an offline meetup where we actually meet each other. We're all been friends for several years. We trust each other that we can meet in person. And not only are the 2 people that said they were girls actually girls, but also the third one
is also a girl.
And they also all go to the same school. One of them is even in his class and makes fun of him for being a fucking weeb.
Every day. She's like, you're a gross
otaku. And I'm a normal high school girl. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm normal.
Turns out she's just a weeb behind the scenes.
Yeah. She just likes online games.
Weeb in the sheets. I can't think.
Anyway, the one girl that is his wife in the game is like, I can't believe I'm touching the real you, and she refused to call him by his real name and is like, hugging his arm and being all friendly, and it's just like, okay, but that's a game. I don't know you in real life, even though you go to the same school, and like, you can't come up to me in class and call me your husband.
Yeah.
We can talk. We can be friends. Maybe things go on. We can be more than friends.
Yeah.
But we're not married in real life.
I watched the end. They almost kiss.
And to be fair, in that show, I can't decide out of the 3 main girls which I like the best.
I'm
kind of leaning towards the class president, but I don't know.
It's the teacher.
It's the teacher. You haven't met the teacher very much.
I think I've seen the teacher once.
Yeah, so they form a club in order to like help her differentiate real life in the game. It's like, well, if we're here in real life and we're playing the game together, she can sort of like, hopefully make the split. And it's meets limited success. At one point, the main character like sees that other girl that he proposed to that was an older man in real life, and then just like asks her for advice, and then his wife sees him talking to another girl character and is like, I don't like it. That person's taking my husband away from me. And then she arranges to have a real life meeting with that person.
The old dude?
Yeah, with the older... Well, she doesn't tell them who she's meeting, but she tells them that she's meeting somebody else that she knows who told her that they were a guy in real life. And they don't know that it's that same character. They just know it's somebody else. And like, we're worried about her. Not just because of her character, and the main character is just like, but also because I kind of like her as a person too. And that's what I'm worried about. I know games is games and reality is reality, but, you know, I can't help but feel weird about this. She confronts the person that was the other woman, I should say. And that person was lying about being a man. Because it's actually their female teacher.
Really?
Yeah. She lies about being a man because that's easier to turn people down in the game. It's like, I'm a man in real life, so nope, we can't get married.
Plot twist.
So then, but she like tries to physically attack that teacher with like a prop wand that she has, like her character does. And they have to stop her, and it's like, you didn't calm the fuck down, lady. Like, this is a problem. So anyway, the teacher then becomes their faculty advisor for the club.
Nice.
I'm
definitely watching this.
Eventually, the blonde girl's friend like hears about them playing that game and then creates a character without telling any of them, and becomes without them knowing it's her. The main character is like, oh, it's some newbie that doesn't know what they're doing, and helps her out because that's what he does. So then she's like, this person, I'm attached to this person, which does not make his wife happy. Also doesn't make his wife happy when she learns that, oh no, it was that person this whole time in real life. And she's like teasing her, and it's like, you don't understand the damage you just did. Like, she's got a problem distinguishing reality in the game.
Like, have you seen School Days? Like, this is not going to end well.
But it doesn't end as badly. Like, she's better at that point because she's already had that incident with the teacher. But so that happens.
School Days flashbacks.
And then the end of it is just like, we're having the cultural festival. What do we do to show off the merits of our club? And they're like, well, they introduced this new PvP mode in the game, so we could like try to win a castle in that, and you know, have our school emblem be raised as our logo, and then get a screenshot of it and show that off. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're doing the PvP thing.
They didn't even do anything. They're just like, here's a picture.
Yeah, here's a picture. Let's see.
One thing I want to bring up, the last episode, you just have like a regular animation for like when they're in the game, but like the picture is just like all 8-bit. I'm just like,
you get that interspersed. You get that interspersed throughout the series.
But it's like, wouldn't it be cool if they just did all of the animation in the game as 8-bit?
Yeah. I don't think it would have gone over as well.
Because in the first episode, it flashed back from 8-bit to being inside the game, whatever.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I don't think it would be as charming after like 4 episodes.
That's true.
It's no community video game episode.
It's a good episode.
Yeah. But
I can't. You're right, I can't.
But that's that game, or that's that show. It's like a 6. It's whatever.
Okay.
I like that it's not. It seems like it's going to be a harem setup, but it's not really. It's mainly just the main 2 people there. Mm. I would say the blonde-haired, flat-chested girl is my favorite, but that's just kind of my type. Is this sort of tsundere, flat-chested type.
Mine's the teacher.
This is the teacher.
Like I said, mine's either between either the main girl or the student council president. I like her a lot too.
Student council president, the one who spent like $5 million.
Yeah, she's the one that's got all the fancy items and everything in the game.
Yeah,
it's like you drank like 400 of these things that cost $5 million. How did you do this?
It's like every time I hit you, you consumed another super rare item.
It's like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. How many did you go through? Well, I started with 500, and now I'm at 12. But okay, so those are all the single season stuff. So okay. I don't think we're gonna spend as much time on these next ones. Okay, so you haven't seen My Next Life is a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom at all. You haven't seen season 1 or season 2 of Correct. That. You haven't. You've seen some of. You also haven't seen anything about Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out, season 1 or season 2.
Correct.
Okay. And Ben, you have seen a little bit of those just from me watching them. Okay. So what do you think My Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom X or season 2 is about?
I have no idea. I watched 5 minutes and all I know is that the butler was evil.
Okay. What do you think that show is about?
It's exactly like the other Villainous show. I don't know.
Okay. So, sort of, but sort of not. Different approaches to discovering that you're the villainess.
Gotcha.
So, I'll talk about season 1 a bit, because that'll be easier, I think. This girl, she finds out that she's the villainess way younger in life. She finds out at, the age of 5. She knocks her head, which is something that happened in the game. She gets, this horrible scar while talking to while hanging out with one of the princes. And then, in the game, she uses that as an excuse to make him take responsibility and for them to become engaged at, the age of 5. But she's the Duke's daughter, and that's all royalty arranged marriage stuff anyway.
Baby trap.
Yeah. But in the show, that's the event that leads her to remember, wait a minute, I know this game. I know this character, and I'm a terrible person, and everything goes wrong for me. No matter how the game ends, I'm either dead in the crossfire or at best banished.
Banished isn't that bad.
But she's like, and as a Duke's daughter, I wouldn't have any normal skills that would let me go live out in the countryside with no money. So she's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to not pressure this person to keep being my fiance, even though, he insists upon taking responsibility or whatnot. I'm going to, keep giving him the out.
Yeah.
I'm going to be not mean to my younger half-brother. I'm going to, just try to be as nice as possible to these people. And also, I'm going to learn how to farm. Because if I get banished, that'll be a useful skill. Gotcha. So I can feed myself.
Quick interjection. So is this other villainous show the continuation of the other villainous show on this list? No. Okay.
I'm the villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss is a completely different show.
Gotcha. Okay.
My Next Life is a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom is a 2-season show. And I'm kind of describing season 1. So she just the first couple episodes are her as a child before the events of the game actually start. Okay. And she's just like, okay, I have befriended these people, and I'm still worried about them, when they meet the actual hero of the game. So I'm just going to, keep being no, it's okay, you can...
I'm not a bad guy.
I'm not a bad person. But what ends up happening is she ends up befriending and or unwittingly making them all fall in love with her, including
the butler?
Well, the butler season 2. Including the hero of the game.
Okay.
So there's I don't know, she's got 6 or 7 suitors at the end of the show or whatnot. But she doesn't know anything about it. And she's like, did I reach the secret friendship ending where everyone is friends together? That's the end of season 1.
Okay.
Season 2, she's like, wait a minute. The game's over. I've passed all the doom flags. I should be good now. And then she gets kidnapped.
Okay.
And then, the person who thought they were orchestrating the kidnapping was, the fiance of the the second in line for the throne, whereas she's the fiance for the third in line for the throne.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, I just need him to renounce his claim to the throne so that hopefully my fiance, who I think is bored of me because they don't know how to communicate, will appreciate what I've done for him, sort of thing. And I'll take full responsibility for it afterwards. But it turns out that they were being used by
the butler.
The butler,
yes,
who was in fact just a pawn of somebody else.
Oh,
but yeah, he was.
I was hoping he was like the bastard kid.
Yeah, he was a slave for somebody else. But she even befriends him. And he's like, well, I'm still going to do my job, but, I feel bad about it. But then the other person... So, like, when she was kidnapped, there was the person, the fiancé of the second prince,
mm-hmm.
the butler, and then there was also just, like, a maid. But it turns out the maid was a spy the whole time. And was like, stop the plan from going through. And they give the butler a second chance to work off his debt to society. Dylan,
sorry,
Dylan, quit looking at Facebook. We're recording.
Made noises.
Yeah, bro, we stopped looking at Facebook.
It's just like, okay, there's still dangers, and she's still befriending people, and not everybody becomes her friend in this season, but her friendships endear. She learns that, oh, wait a minute, two of these people actually are in love with me. The two of the main suitors, which would be the person she's engaged to and her half brother. So
wait, what?
Yeah, her half brother kisses her at one point. And Sweet home Alabama. It's Japan, man. They do that shit sometimes. It's just like, what? I didn't realize they liked me like that. It's like, it's been super obvious this whole time.
I feel like there's an appropriate 6 inches joke in there somewhere.
It's never appropriate for a 6 inches joke, Dylan. It's never appropriate. But that's my next life as a villainess. All routes lead to doom. All in all, like a 5. It's fine.
Was it? Probably won't give it the time of day, to be honest.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I watched the second season.
Now I know everything about the butler.
His name is Sora.
I don't care.
More Sora?
Thanks, Dylan.
I mean, I knew the name. I don't care. I didn't play those games.
Oh, fantastic.
I need to finish 3 at some point.
I'm thinking about getting a Kingdom's Heart tattoo, fun fact.
Oh, yeah?
Do you have a tattoo?
It's going to be a Goofy?
Not yet.
Okay.
I have 3 drawn out that I want. All of them are from Square Enix games.
Is it 10?
Final Fantasy 10 is one of them. Kingdom Hearts is one of them.
What would be the third one?
Final Fantasy 7 is the other one.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were into 7 or not.
Yeah.
I knew you were into 10 was your favorite.
The order of those games was Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy Tactics, and then Final Fantasy 7.
Okay. So, Tactics is the that's the grid-based RPG, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic story.
So I'll probably never get a tattoo, but I know what I'd get if I would get one.
What?
It'd be Fate Zero.
Okay. Would you get command seals on your...
Ideally, yes, but that sounds like, 1, not a great idea, and 2, very painful. So I just put it on the arm.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like I had... and
it would probably be a Kiritsu goose.
Yeah. If I were to get a tattoo, it would be something that... It'd be like on my wrist.
Okay.
And it would be a specific symbol for, I think it's called the Wandering Dark.
I'm assuming it's a Sanderson thing.
No. It's a Terry Pratchett Discworld thing.
Oh.
It's the Wandering Dark.
Interesting.
The Summoning Dark is a pan-dimensional creature and spirit of vengeance from dwarf mythology in the Discworld.
Did I see that in that one show? No.
No, I don't think so.
You know what I'm talking about?
The one character, that show, that character, eventually somebody summons the Summoning Dark to hunt him down, and the Summoning Dark is just like, in his brain trying to like incite him to lose control of himself and give into rage. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like him battling with, he's had like, there are plenty of anger issues, but he's able to basically put a tamper on it because he's dealt so long with him like putting himself in check that like even when this thing starts to think it's getting a stronghold, his brain just has defenses in it to be like, no, you don't control me. I'm the part of his brain that is because he's a police officer in the fantasy world. It's like I'm the part of the brain that is used to keeping him in check. And then like the wandering dark, it's like trapped and it sears itself onto his on the inside of his wrist, and like he uses it to like threaten dwarves in later books because it's just like he doesn't like intentionally threaten them. He just like lets them see it and they're like, oh fuck, the wandering dark is there, or the summoning dark is there.
So things I love about this podcast, the name Sora was brought up, and then we go on tangents about tattoos and random things. It's great.
Usually doesn't happen.
I'm trying to see if I can find an image of it.
Is it just a me thing? Yeah. Am I the one we always go tangents with?
Yeah, this would be what it's like. No, I'll go on tangents, but Ben's normally there to be like, come on, let's keep going.
You're talking too much.
Okay. Uzaki-Chan wants to hang out season 2. Season 1 of this show is this college guy is sort of a loner, and then he's a second year in college, and his first year college girl that he knew from high school that they were both on like the swim team is just like takes pity on him for being a loner, so they just like hang out playing video games and she teases him some. And then in season 2 so far it's been like them coming to grips with like everybody around them's like, you guys should really be dating right now, and they're like, what? No. And the one girl,
you guys aren't dating.
The one girl is like, the girl is like, I get why he would be in love with me, but but she's just like being cocky. Like, there's no way I don't feel like that. I don't feel that way towards him, but it's clear that he feels that way towards me. So if he wants to ask me out, then whatever.
It's just that we have we have a lot of things in common. He's an absolute like 10 out of 10.
He's fucking jacked from swimming all the time and likes video games.
Oh, you didn't? What I know about this show?
Yeah. Sorry.
Main thing, both of their parents are like hot.
Both sets of parents
are hot. Every parent in this show is like 10 out of 10.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The dude's dad is like, everyone agrees he's the worst character in the show. Because the dad is like, even though they live close to the college, the dad's like, nah, you gotta get your own place. Yeah. Specifically so he can get frisky with his wife again. Which is fine and all that.
Coming out from a parent, that's totally something I would do as well. Like,
okay, that's fine. But here's the thing. The wife got pregnant and had a child. And the main guy did not know that he had a younger sibling until that he came home for Christmas. And the sibling's like 4 to 6 months old.
Nice.
Because the mom is just like, oh, I guess I'll tell him that, where I'm expecting. And he's like, oh, I already told him. But he did not already tell him. So it's like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? But he does give him some solid advice where he's just like, because for the most part, the guy likes the girl, but he's just like, because of how fucked up his parents are with how they're like not afraid of being physical in front of him, not like full on physical, but like, actual
very just touchy feely kind of thing.
Yeah, he's just sort of like, he's like, it kind of disgusts me, and I don't want to. That's not necessarily something I'm looking for. Even if he does want like companionship, it's just not something that's on his mind all that often.
Yeah, sure.
But his dad gives him advice. It's just like, you got to think about what it looks like. She's like coming over to your place. She spent the night a few times. People are going to be talking about her. So you got to do things the right way. And that's when he's just like, okay, I had to think about this. And that's about where we're at right now. There's one more episode in this season. And I'm just like, come on. It's also, Christmas.
Everyone's hot. The girl's dad is like amazing. He's like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, he's a trainer at a gym.
He looks like 20 years old. I like watched an episode. I'm like, that's her dad.
He looks like 30.
Whatever.
But he's like 42 or something.
Yeah. It's like that. They're at a water park, and everybody just keeps taking pictures of him because he's so jacked. It's like, yes, I want to show about that guy. Go on.
The fun thing about the dad is the main guy goes to the gym that the dad's a trainer at, so they know each other, but they don't know that the main girl Uzaki, like, he doesn't know that guy's last name. He just knows his. He knows he calls him Fuji or something like that, and he just assumed that was his last name, but that was his first name. Yeah. And so it's just like until he shows up at Christmas Eve, and they finally are like, "Wait, you're the boy that my daughter's been talking about? Wait, you're Saki's dad?"
Okay.
And then they needed to have an alliance to be like I don't. I'm kind of mad that anybody is coming after my daughter. Especially somebody that I thought I trusted. But then he's like, wait a minute. I talked about my daughter and wishing I knew more about her life. Like, complained about her at the gym. And you were there. You gotta not tell people. You gotta not tell her that I mentioned her at work because she will not like that. And I was talking about her to strangers. We gotta have a truce here. And he's like, I got it. He's like, well, what would it take? How hard do you think it would take to hit you for you to lose your memory? He's like, let's not resort to violence, please. But I've got a plan. I never remember things when I get blackout drunk. So I'll just get really drunk. And then that'll be an excuse for me to go home. And hopefully I can forget that you mentioned that I knew that. Because I didn't know that was going to be a problem until you mentioned it. And now I can't keep on the secret. So that's where we ended, is he's super drunk in their house on Christmas Eve.
Nice.
So the dad's like, all the liquor in the house, it's yours. Let me know if you need me to go get more. This show's good. I think you would like Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out. Season 2 gets more romantic than Season 1, which is my game, but Season 1's still good.
I'm probably going to watch it. It sounds good.
What's the ranking?
I'll give that one a 6 or a 7. Go up to a 7 for that one, I guess. Just because I gave some other things a 6 that Uzaki-Chan's better. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's everything but My Hero Season 6, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk too much about My Hero Season 6, except for it's just... They start off running, and they've been running for like 12 episodes. Yeah. It's like, okay, we're having a coordinated effort to attack these two bases at once. And like every fucking hero you've seen before, and then some, are going to be involved in these two attacks, we're just gonna go hard and keep going until I don't know. It's just been nonstop, and it's been a lot of fun.
Because I've not watched My Hero since, I want to say it's the second season. I can't remember, but
I think I got the 4.
I just remember my favorite character in that show is the teacher that's always in the sleeping bag. It's got real big bags under his eyes.
Oh yeah, that dude's awesome.
I love that guy.
I think it's Aizawa, something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he plays a crucial role. Is that he's got to use his power to stop this one overpowered person from having access to most of their abilities, and it's just like he's like, okay, we have to protect that guy, and we have to keep his eyes watered. So there's another character whose sole job, he just has like these like limited water manipulation, but he's just keeping the guy's eyes watered so he doesn't have to blink. And there's another guy like supporting him, and it's just like,
to put it in perspective, I have not watched My Hero since before me and Rachel got married. Was the last time.
Oh god!
Oh wow!
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Let's see. How old were you when you got married?
21. We're coming up on our 5 years this July.
Okay, so yeah. There's a lot to get caught up on. There's some real good stuff in there. There's some whatever stuff, but there's also some real good stuff. I've only watched one of the movies, and it was whatever. You don't need to watch the movies. As far as
I watched that movie.
Yeah. What's it with Brock, maybe? Because I think he owned it.
I know I definitely watched it.
Yeah. But yeah, season 6 has been... It's been top of the line My Hero so far.
Cool.
You know, and My Hero gets to a 6 or a 7 most seasons.
It's just, I don't like shonens.
That's fine.
It's just, it's like, I watched that one episode.
I avoided watching it for a long time, and then I'm just like, I guess I'll start this.
I just watched that one episode. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. I just don't know if I need that for 11 episodes.
Hot take on this real quick. I mean, that's what I've been doing with Boruto. You know, I've not watched any of Boruto until, you know what, finally, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? I'm like, I'm going to sit down. I'm just going to finally start binging this series. Everyone's like, it's crappy. It sucks. It's not worth it. I'm like, I'm enjoying the shit out of this. Like, I'm having a great time with this.
I've noticed somebody's been watching Boruto. I assumed it was you.
Yes, it's been me.
So I assume you're the only one still using my Crunchyroll besides me.
Yeah.
Probably. Because, like, Pants uses his brothers or something like that.
No, does he?
I think.
I just kind of assume Pants just doesn't ever watch anime anymore.
No, Pants watched Sunny Boy not too long ago. I was so happy. He texted me a whole big thing about Sunny Boy, and I'm like, you watched Sunny Boy?
And he liked it.
And he liked it.
Did you watch Sunny Boy?
I did not.
Are you a boy? Damn. You need to watch Sunny Boy.
It's transcendent.
I mean, I gotta work at 5:30, but we can watch it that much, right? Right?
We can watch all, 12 episodes of Sunny Boy?
Yeah.
11 to 13, somewhere around there. It's
22-minute episodes, you know, it's what, 3.5 hours?
Yeah, we can get that done.
It makes me feel like I'm high. If that makes... There are episodes where I'm just like, this is trippy and I love it. And they're playing like math rock. And
so kind of like those Godry shows, you know, like...
Yeah.
Those always make me feel like I'm stoned out of my mind, but...
Yeah, it's got some... The Monogatari shows are very visually, like, surreal, and this gets very surreal.
Because, like, I think the biggest one that stands out in my head, I think, is Bakemonogatari. I think that's...
Yeah, that's the first season of them. But yeah, it's pretty surreal, is the best words I can describe it as.
Just 2 words. Monkey baseball.
Monkey baseball. That's an episode. Monkey baseball.
It's the greatest episode of anime. It's my favorite episode of anime of all time.
That's even better than the Samurai Champloo baseball episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What about the Bleach soccer episode?
I didn't watch Bleach.
Oh. Toshiro's soccer episode's like the best filler episode out of any anime ever.
We talked to you last night about the pitch of the show, and you're like, yeah, you could like talk about Bleach because it's like the #1 anime right now. I'm like, I don't give a shit about Bleach.
No, that's when your guys pitching for this whole next year's idea. Like Bleach has just been the #1 running show since they started airing the new Bleach. Yeah, which I haven't even started watching it yet.
It moved to like seasonal format though too, so it's just like they're gonna have like 13 episodes, and then they'll take a couple of seasons off and come back with another 13
is that what they're doing?
I think that was the idea. That's why it's called Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War, because it's like...
It's going to take 1,000 years to finish the anime?
Probably.
About, yeah.
Shit, how long One Piece been going, you know? It's about the same thing.
God. I mean, it'll be old news by this point, but breaking news about fucking Pokemon Ash's journey's coming to an end.
Is it really?
Yeah. He's going to have like he just became world champion at the end of this last arc, and they're gonna have like a 17 or something, 11 to 17 episode like finishing arc that's just gonna wrap up his story, and then they're moving on to the new season's gonna have new main characters. So like the Scarlet and Violet games are gonna, you know, the anime using that region or whatever is gonna have 2 new characters, and people are like, we've gotten a glimpse at them. Her eyes look like that one chick's eyes, Serena's, and she's got the little hairpin that looks like the symbol on Ash's hat. Is this going to be their child? It's like, I don't
Might
think...
as well be. He's been, 12 for 24 years or something
He's been 10 for...
What is it? There was
10 for that long.
On Twitter, there's like a meme where it's like a sign at a restaurant or something. It's like, must be at least 10 years old and 20 years of experience. Yeah. It's just a picture of Asuka.
He's won every job once. 10 years old with 25 years of experience. Yeah. That's it's coming to an end. End of an era. And it's probably gone on
my entire life.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're younger than us, so... I think technically the games might predate us in Japan.
In Japan, maybe. I think
Japan, they came out in 92.
Yeah.
U.S. was 98?
97? Is it 94 or 95? Was when Yellow came out.
Oh, okay. They're probably older than us then.
They might be. Hard to say. My brothers had red and blue and gold, and I had crystal. I got crystal when I was like 5 or 6 years old for Christmas or something. I also got my own Game Boy Color so that I could also play instead of just having to share with my brothers or whatnot. I think technically we just kind of share both of them, but it's just like, okay, Johnny gets to play too. It's not your guys' Game Boy.
Right.
So we had 2 Game Boy Colors at my house. Not that much. And we had an original Game Boy, but I think my brother might have bought it used, like, well after we had the Game Boy Colors, if that makes sense.
Gotcha, yeah.
I don't know if they ever played that, but I mean, we're running out of steam. We're 10 minutes past rag time.
Season 6?
Right now, season 6 has been like a 7 or an 8. Okay. I don't know if I want to go as high as 8. I'll go 7.5. Because it's as good as My Hero's ever been, I think.
Cool. Alright, well, that was this episode. Johnny watched anime.
Yeah, we might do something like this again. Just because, like, you work late a lot of nights, and I have a pretty consistent shift, so I'm just like, I'll just sit down and watch stuff. It's so much easier than trying to cram in watching stuff with you.
But then if you watch something that Shabs going to like, you have to have the discipline to stop yourself. Like, well, Shabs is going to want to watch this too. Shit.
Yeah.
Trust me, all the shows that he watched, I don't care. Johnny knows my taste, I think.
Yeah, you might like More Than a Married Couple, but not Lovers. That would you'd be like, like 6 or 7 is how you would rate it. Which is kind of like, I feel like those are the best episodes to have of this show because we're just like, I feel so pressured. Like I don't want to ever cover Steins Gate on this show because I wouldn't do it justice. It's just be me being like, yeah, it's really fucking good. No plot holes.
Biggest plot hole is that I've not seen more than the first episode, but I have seen the movie.
God,
Jesus,
come on,
what's wrong with you?
We talk about this every time we talk about Steins Gate.
Yeah,
I can't get through the first episode. It's just
because we were watching Steins Gate back in the college days, so we'd go to Steak and Shake at 2 a.m. and fill you up with food. Then come home, we try to get you to watch something serious, and you're out in 30 seconds.
As soon as food hits my belly and it's time to sleep, it's out.
It's fine. Well,
it's not fun. But now you got kids and a wife, and Steak and Shake isn't open past like 6 p.m. anymore.
Yeah. Can't go inside it anymore. Not our Steak and Shake.
I heard they're reopening it again at some point.
They've been done because at first it's just because they're remodeling it.
Yeah.
The remodel's been done for a little while, I think.
Well, for
it's
a
like
while,
you can go inside, but it's like
staffing
automated
issues.
ordering.
Yeah.
For a while, it was staffing issues during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they
just did not have enough people to run
inside and out.
The inside.
Yeah.
So, but they could run the drive-through, and they did not have enough people to cover later shifts, 24 hours anymore. So
this is what we get when we get Roy on the show: Steak and Shake talk.
Yeah.
So the fun thing about Steak and Shake. So, like, ours got shut down with COVID and everything.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks ago was the first time I have eaten at a Steak and Shake since the last time I ate before COVID hit around the area.
I still haven't been to Steak and Shake since.
Like, I got some drive-through Steak and Shake with my mom once.
Like,
it was like I was off some Friday in Lent or something, and we're like, well, let's get grilled cheeses because I was hanging out with my mom.
Yeah.
So
mine was I was 2 hours. You probably don't know where Tilton is. It's like 2 hours away from here. I was working down there, or up there, I guess. It's northwest, but
never heard of it.
And I was driving back home. I'm like, well, I haven't had lunch yet, and I was coming up on a Steak and Shake. I'm like, I've not had Steak and Shake in a really long time.
Was it good?
Oh, it's fantastic. I love Steak and Shake. Love Steak and Shake.
I like the grilled cheese. That's about it.
Oh, no, they got good burgers.
Yeah, but I don't eat hamburgers.
They got the best fast food chili. Like,
I don't eat chili.
God, you're not allowed to eat chili before coming over here. You know that, right? You fart enough as is. You farted in this episode. I don't know if the mic's picked it up. I don't know if the mic's picked it up, but I definitely heard you fart. Ben was talking, so I didn't bring it up at the time, but
yeah, I just kind of casually put my head in my shirt, just tried to hold it live, and I was like,
"Oh, I just wasn't gonna address it."
We're still recording.
Oh, I know.
Ben, you're hosting, technically.
Okay.
You want to take us out?
That was this episode. Check out the shows that Jonny talked about, or not. Nobody cares. You can follow us on Twitter at anime_territory. We're on almost any podcast service. We're on YouTube as well. Anime Territory. We are the Cityscape picture.
Yep.
And Jonny and us and myself stream very rarely on twitch.tv/DementedGoku.
Sometimes I stream without Shabs.
Yeah.
I'll stream Gloomhaven with my friend Matt, or I'll have my nephews over and we'll play Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, or I'll have my friend Bo over and we'll compete for the technically traveling Treasure Toad Trophy.
Is this still in our...
Yeah,
okay.
It's technically, we did the last one off stream and he won it, but he forgot to take it home.
Gotcha.
So like it's still, the only time it's traveled is from when he brought it here the first time, which is why it's called the technically traveling.
Gotcha.
Okay.
We should do a series where we stream Final Fantasy X.
Well, you just gotta come over anytime and I will stream with you. And not anytime, but like most days I'm free.
Right.
You just gotta come over and I'll...
Thanks for listening. Do you want to plug next episode? Or is that... No, it's probably not. It's not finite yet.
Yeah, next episode is not finite because I don't even know what you're talking about.
Is it...
Eventually we're going to talk about Spy Family.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Spy Family. Eventually we're going to talk about Spy Family.
We're not 100% sure, though, if the next episode will come out in time. Or, like, the last episode will come out in time.
If the next episode is the last episode, we'll be golden.
Well, I guess we technically have, like, 3 weeks.
Yeah, we should be good now that we've got this episode.
It's going to be Spy Family. I'm calling it.
Alright, it's going to be Spy Family, Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
Dylan, if you like Spy Family, feel free to come back.
I might.
Thanks for listening.
You are now leaving the anime territory.
Goodbye.
See you later.